Today's video is brought to you by Aura.
Have you ever wondered why there is so much detail on your food packaging? Between the colors, the lists, we do love lists, and the scientific sounding language, it can be difficult to understand. That being said, there are a lot of interesting facts about food labels around the world that you might not know. So, go grab a snack, or in this case, some uncooked Vigo rice from Tampa, Florida. Because I'm Mike and we're about to dive into the wonderful world of food labels. "25. Calories are per serving size, not per packet. Sadly, the calories that are often listed on the front of the package and in detail on the back are per suggested serving size, not per packet. This is particularly annoying if, like me, you get a big bag of chips and suddenly you're at the bottom of the packet. You'll often have to do some math to work out the entire calorie intake. But some manufacturers are starting to put both numbers on their food labels. I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an easy-to-use app that includes everything you need to stay safe online. Aura protects you from scammers and hackers by scanning the so-called dark web, where criminals sell stolen information, looking for your emails, passwords, and social security numbers. It alerts you fast if it finds anything. They help you fight back against those annoying websites that make your personal information public by automatically requesting removal of your info. This helps reduce robocalls because we all love robocalls, right? No, we really don't. Aura gives you near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries, like if someone was opening a loan or credit card in your name. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. And they protect your devices from viruses, malware, spyware, and more so bad guys can't break in. Aura even helps you manage what your kids can do on their devices. You can restrict specific apps, set screen time limits, and even set focus times to ensure your child is doing their homework, instead of binging YouTube. Unless, of course, it's List 25, because let's be honest, everyone should binge List 25. And their password manager lets you store and access your online passwords securely and conveniently. I know what you're thinking. You already have an app that does one of these things. But with Aura, you don't have to download and possibly pay for 7 separate apps. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. And if you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial with my link. You will be shocked at how much of your private info Aura finds exposed over those 2 weeks. So just go to aura.com/list25 to start your free trial. And the link is going to be in the description below too. 24. Percentage daily value is based on 2,000 calories per day. When it says a food serving has 4% of your daily fat intake, that's based on someone who has 2,000 calories a day. Based on your dietary habits or the amount you work out, this can massively skew. 2,000 is a benchmark figure for global averages, so adjust the percentages accordingly. 23. Calories versus calories from fat. You'll see 2 calorie-based numbers at the top of the food label: calories and calories from fat. Realistically, your calories from fat shouldn't be any more than 25 to 35% of your overall calorie intake. 22. Nutrition labels are an FDA requirement since 1995. Weirdly enough, to sell packaged food in the US, you've had to have nutrition labels since 1995. The FDA looks after all things food safety, so they've been driving healthier food choices for almost 30 years. 21. How many servings are in the pack? Sadly, you need to look at how many servings are in a pack when dealing with food labels. Sometimes suggested servings will be a weight-based figure, and sometimes it'll say per cookie or per 5 chips or something mad. I'd say one of the most egregious is when a candy bar is the serving size is half a candy bar. No one's eating half a candy bar. Get your stuff together, FDA. No one's doing that. Sorry. 20. The traffic light system. If you're in Europe, you might see the traffic light system on the front of the packaging. It'll have the core food categories of fats, sugars, carbs, and salt, and indicate if the product is high, medium, or low in those things by being red, orange, or green in color. It's designed to make eating healthier easier at a glance. That's something we should probably adopt here. 19. Less than 5 calorie items are technically calorie-free. Ever wondered how they define calorie-free? Well, like a lot of people, we assumed that it meant 0 calories or, under 1. But no, on food labeling, anything under 5 calories can be classified as calorie-free. 18. Labeling rules don't apply to waters. Now, it might be a no-brainer that labeling rules don't apply to water, but this also means sparkling and flavored waters don't need their own nutritional labels. Those can have a lot of additives and sugars in them, so be mindful. 17. Manufacturers submit their own nutritional data. Interestingly, manufacturers submit their own nutritional data. So, take those figures with a grain of salt. Pun intended. While they can't outright lie on their packaging, they might be, a couple of grams or percentages off on certain batches. 16. The FDA doesn't check the nutritional data. Well, speaking of number 17, in the US, the FDA doesn't check to see if they're lying. To be fair, there are millions of products released every day, and this would be a huge job. They do sometimes do spot checks to see if a company is massively lying about their claims or not, but it doesn't happen that often. 15. What counts as low fat? We see the phrase low fat all the time on food packaging. But what does it mean? Well, according to nutrition.org.uk, the food must contain less than 3 grams of fat per 100 grams to be classified as a low-fat foodstuff. My favorite type of cereal, low-fat foodstuff, brought to you by Kellogg's. It's probably still better than grape nuts. Fiber 1. 14. Major allergens have to be labeled in bold. In Europe, it's a requirement that major allergens like shellfish, nuts, lactose, gluten, and others are listed in bold on the packages. They're also included in a special allergens list just below the main ingredients to keep everything clear. That's probably something else we should adopt, if we haven't already. Do we? I don't think we do that. Should probably do that. 13. Manufacturers have to include ingredient lists on their packaging. Do you want to know what's in your favorite foods? Well, the good news is they have to put the ingredients on your packaging. Yes, they can cover up secret ingredients in codes or generalizations, but it's all there. 12. The highest quantity of ingredients is listed first. Some nutritional labels have percentage amounts of the ingredients on the back to indicate what's the main ingredient in the products. If they don't, the order of the ingredients indicates a quantity, starting with the highest amount and decreasing accordingly. 11. Labeling rules don't apply to food supplements. Similar to water, labeling rules and regulations don't apply to food supplements. So if you're taking vitamin gummies, they don't need to be labeled. But the sugar amount can be a bit on the high side, so keep an eye on your intake. Don't overdose on Flintstones chewables. It's basically what I'm getting at. 10. The EU food labeling rules and FDA are different. Despite a ton of trade agreements between the EU and America, the food labeling rules are different. So if you're abroad and see one of your favorite snacks from home, the packaging is going to look different. This is to keep the product in line with local food safety and packaging laws. 9. Fiber doesn't have to be included on the label. Although fiber is super important to our diet and definitely is needed, it doesn't have to be included on our food labels. This varies based on the product though. Foods like cereals tend to be high in fiber, so companies elect to include the figures prominently on the packaging, or name their cereal Fiber 1, like I mentioned before. It's all about showing the positives and hiding the negatives. Oh, it's not great. 8. May contain boxes for cross-contamination. Underneath the allergens list on the back of food packaging, you might see a slightly different list. This may contain list is another list of allergens that aren't directly in the product itself, but due to cross-contamination risks at factories that make several products, it may sneak into the food. This is really important for people with severe allergies or autoimmune conditions like celiac disease. 7. UK food labels are now subject to Natasha's Law. Due to the sad death of a child called Natasha with a severe nut allergy in the UK, food labeling for allergens and cross-contamination has been extended to restaurants, cafes, and anywhere that sells food. You have to declare allergens on the menu by law. 6. What counts as sugar-free? Well, earlier I mentioned what counts as calorie-free, so what about sugar-free? If you're looking to lower your sugar intake, you might opt for some sugar-free snacks. But what does that actually entail? To count as sugar-free, the product must contain less than 0.5 grams of sugar per 100 grams. This may be the case, and the product adds sweeteners to meet in the middle, which isn't always good for you either, so beware. 5. The wording around health claims. We absolutely love clever wording here at List 25, but when it comes to the health claims on food labels, it's no joke. Take this for example. Vitamin C contributes to the reduction of tiredness and fatigue. It's true, but if it said vitamin C reduces tiredness and fatigue, the company can get into real legal trouble for false or non-guaranteed claims. This is why food manufacturers will have huge legal departments to check health claims line by line. 4. Additives and E-numbers count as ingredients in Europe. Despite being nominal in terms of quantity, additives and E-numbers have to be listed for food safety purposes. Some people have adverse effects and borderline allergies to some of these additives, so they need to be listed. Some people are also a little funny about giving E-numbers to kids in case they go hyper, so keeping everything clear is best for all. 3. Health claims have to be externally reviewed. In Europe, any of the health claims that are being made have to be externally reviewed by a panel of experts to ensure that there are no false claims or promotions that aren't completely proven. This is in pretty stark contrast to the FDA not checking nutritional data, but this is a legal part of the food label that can lead to huge lawsuits, packaging recalls, and reprints that can cost millions. 2. What counts as high in fiber? We all need fiber, and it's lacking in a lot of products. So what counts as high in fiber? Well, the product must contain at least 6 grams of fiber per 100 grams to tick this particular box. So keep an eye on your intake and check the back of the packaging to see if they include data for fiber, as it's not a guarantee. 1. Prepacked versus menu labeling. Increasingly, menus are adding food label style information to let customers know what's in their food. This started with calorie content, and with Natasha's Law in the UK has extended out to allergens and key ingredients. If you sell prepackaged foods like protein bars in a shop, you can now go to a link on the stands or shelf to allergen ingredients. So, there you go. 25 fascinating facts about food labels that you might not be aware of, but you are now. Share them with your friends and family, save them for trivia night, or just use them to eat more mindfully. Are there any food label facts that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell, follow us on all of our social medias, links in the description below. If you can, please become a member to help support the channel, so we love bringing this content to you, and that helps us greatly. And as always, I'll see you next time.
Be sure to click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.